Greetings, seekers of truth, and welcome to Rhema of God. Today, we delve into one of the most perplexing and profound mysteries of the book of Revelation, a mystery that sits right at the very beginning of Christ's final revelation to the Apostle John. In chapters 2 and 3, we find 7 letters dictated by the glorified Christ himself. They're addressed to 7 real, historical churches in Asia Minor: Smyrna, Pergamum, Thyatira, Sardis, Philadelphia, and Laodicea. Now, you would expect the salutation to read, to the pastor of Ephesus, or maybe to the elders in Smyrna. But it doesn't. Instead, we read these startling words: to the angel of the church in Ephesus. Write, ... And again, to the angel of the church in Smyrna write, ... This exact pattern continues for all 7 churches, not to the congregation, not to the leadership, but to the angel. Why? Who or what is this angel? And what does the strange detail tell us about the spiritual reality of the church? My friends, the answer is far more intriguing and much more challenging than a simple clerical error or a figure of speech. The Greek word used here is angelos. Now, when we hear that word, we immediately think of a heavenly, spiritual bina, messenger from God's court, complete with wings and a halo. And that is a primary meaning of the word, but fundamentally, angelos just means messenger. It can absolutely refer to a divine being, but it can also refer to a human messenger, like John the Baptist, who was sent to prepare the way. This dual meaning has led to 3 primary interpretations among scholars over the centuries. First, there's what we can call the human messenger view. This interpretation suggests that the angel is simply the earthly pastor, the bishop, or the presiding elder of that specific congregation. The letter is entrusted to the human leader, who then has the responsibility to proclaim its message to their flock. It's a compelling view, and it certainly emphasizes the incredible weight of pastoral responsibility. The leader is the messenger who receives the word for the people. Second, some have suggested it's just a symbolic personification, that the angel isn't a literal being at all, but represents the spirit or the ethos of the church, its unique character and personality. This is a bit more abstract, but it gets closer to the idea that Christ is addressing something deeper than just the organizational structure. But the third view, the heavenly representative view, is the one I find most compelling and spiritually profound. In the Jewish understanding of the time, which we see reflected in books like Daniel, nations were believed to have heavenly princes or angelic representatives in the spiritual realm. They were celestial counterparts that stood for the nation before God. Now, here in Revelation, we see that it's not just nations that have them, but individual churches do too. This angel is the church's celestial counterpart, its spiritual blueprint, the very essence of the church as God sees it. It is the church's eternal identity, registered and recognized in heaven. Think of it this way. Every local church, your church, has a dual existence. There is the messy, human reality on the ground. The squabbles, the committees, the compromises, but also the faithfulness and the struggles. Then, there is its perfect, God-breathed identity in the heavenly realm. Christ isn't just addressing the people in the pews. He's addressing the latter. He is speaking to the true, core identity of the church, cutting straight through all the human facades and earthly limitations. He is speaking to its heavenly reality. Why is this so crucial to understand? Because when Jesus says to the church in Sardis, "You have a reputation of being alive, but you are dead," he isn't just insulting the members or criticizing the pastor. He is confronting the terrifying disconnect between their heavenly calling, their angel, and their earthly reality. He is calling their angel, their true self, back to its intended state of life and vibrancy. He is holding up a divine mirror to the church's very soul, showing it what it was created to be versus what it has become. This understanding unlocks the entire pattern of the letters. Each one follows a precise formula. First, a description of Christ himself, tailored to that church's need. Then, a commendation for what they're doing right. Next, a rebuke for where they've gone wrong, except for the faithful churches of Smyrna and Philadelphia. Then a universal call for everyone with ears to hear what the Spirit is saying. And finally, a promise to the one who overcomes. Christ is performing spiritual diagnostics. He is diagnosing the spiritual health of each church by comparing its earthly condition to its heavenly design. He is speaking past the programs, the budgets, and the personalities, and addressing the heart of the matter, the spirit of the congregation itself. So, what is the biblical moral of this story? What is the RHEMA, living, active word for us today? Whether we meet in a grand cathedral, a rented storefront, or a quiet living room, the moral is this. Your local church has a spiritual DNA. It has a God-given identity that transcends its current condition, its struggles, and even its successes. Christ's words to the 7 churches are not just ancient history. They are a timeless template for church life. Is your church like Ephesus, doctrinally sound, theologically solid, but having lost its first passionate love for Jesus and for each other? Christ calls its angel back to that first love. Is it like Laodicea, lukewarm, comfortable, wealthy, and self-reliant, feeling it has need of nothing? Christ stands at the door of its heavenly identity and knocks, seeking to renew intimate fellowship. He is not merely addressing our programs. He is addressing our spirit. He is not just evaluating what we do, but who we are at the very core of our collective being as a body of believers. The incredible, breathtaking hope buried in this mystery is that Christ, the one who holds the 7 stars, the angels of the churches in his right hand, has not given up on a single one of his congregations. He is actively presently speaking to its true, God-breathed purpose, calling it to repent, to overcome, and to become on earth what it already is in heaven. So, I encourage you, look at your own church community this week. Look past the imperfections, the personalities, and the problems. Ask yourself, what is the angel of T's church? What is our true, God-given identity? What is the unique calling Christ has for us? And 10, ask, how can I, as a member of this body, help align our earthly reality with that heavenly purpose? Because the letters to the 7 churches are a powerful reminder that Christ is still walking among the lamps. He is still present with his people, and he is still speaking to the angels in our midst. Until next time, may you have ears to hear what the Spirit is saying to the churches. God bless you. This has been Rhema of God.